Hello, good day. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're making it your best day yet. I hope today is going to be your day. I hope that you get through this day with grace and with ease, and just it's such a beautiful day. When you hop on, let me know that you can see me and hear me okay, and then drop me a comment. Today we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, and the reason why I've chosen this subject is because I'm seeing a lot of it come into my reality, not personally for me but for other people. So I wanted to cover it, what it is, how you can spot yourself when you're starting to talk through your own limiting beliefs, when you're actually verbalizing them and making them become a reality. And then what you can do once you kind of recognize it. And that's the most important thing. Like, self-awareness in this journey is absolutely key. Being able to call yourself out on your own bullshit is absolutely, like, really, really, really important. So I want to talk about this. So also let me know if you watched it on the replay. I know a lot of people will be at work or busy, so if you watch it on the replay, let me know. And also play along as if you're on the live as well. You know, don't think that because you aren't live that you can't comment. Of course, please do. And if we have space, of course, we'll answer your questions when we do. Hey Ward, how are you? Good to have you here. So limiting beliefs is something that is really, really on our mind at the moment, so we wanted to share it with you. So I'm just going to bring my team through to the awareness. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Lou, and I'm an open channeler of spirit and guides, and I channel their messages through my body. So a lot of my guides sit on the 125th dimension and above. A lot of them are cosmic beings, but I also have teams that are fairies, that are archangels, that are angels. I have all kinds of different entities, only light beings, I should say, that I channel into for these messages. So everything, well, around 95% of what I say and what comes out of my mouth and in my work, in my writing, is channeled from the divine. So it's channeled through divine truth. They leave me like 5% wriggle room in order to share my own stories as a human, because they want me to be relatable as a human rather than as an alien. So I'm hoping you can understand my English, Ward. English isn't my natural language because I'm a new human here, so I'm hoping you can understand it okay. Let me know if you can. So limiting beliefs, yes. So these are two examples I want to give you that I've seen just literally within the last couple of days. Like people who've dropped on my posts. Oh, beautiful. I'm glad you can understand me. People who have dropped on my posts and just left comments and left very kind of powerful limiting belief statements. So I'll talk about what limiting belief is in a moment, but I want to give you some examples so you can start to have a look. So I'm going to read them off my computer. So the first one was, there was a big long paragraph on one of my posts, but the limiting belief within that was, she said, she was just talking about starting a new job, and she said, to me, this is a natural stress of learning a new job. So she is already planting this belief in her mind that when she gets a new job or when she's learning a new job, it has to be stressful. She's telling her mind, hey mind, listen to me, it's going to be stressful. And I cannot stress to you how important it is to watch your own language. And this is why I channel from the divine. I channel through my own body, which cannot be hijacked. It cannot be hijacked by beings or by others, as long as I stay in a grounded, central position. So that's the first one. So guess what she's going to manifest, right? She's going to manifest stress. If she's thinking this future event that's coming up is going to be stressful, that's exactly what she's going to manifest into a reality. Like, no questions whatsoever. That is what she's going to get, right? Can you see that? The second one, and I see this a lot around money, so it's something that I might come back to in a moment, the second one. So I want to just talk a little bit about limiting beliefs and what they are. So the mind, everyone talks about how powerful the mind is, and, you know, that we need to control our mindset in order to create our realities. Our realities are created with our thoughts and our you know, and our mind, for example. But there are so many limitations of our mind that our mind has almost become programmed by ourselves, by what we consume out there, you know, the media. And we've become, as individuals, as humans, a product of everything that we've gone through. So, you know, if you've been through, you know, childhood trauma, hey Julia, if you've been through childhood trauma, you would have had wounds on your physical body, on your emotional and your spiritual body. You would have received information from your caregivers around limiting beliefs, around money, probably especially. You know, they would have been telling you who you're going to become. They would have been giving you your personality. They would have, you know, anyone around you, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, would have been molding you into the human form that you are today. And one of those things is limiting beliefs. So if you tell yourself something from your mind, you will then start manifesting it in your reality. And so the mind is so limited. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but the second limited belief that I picked up from my page. And by the way, if you do make your way over to my page, I do welcome all kinds of thoughts and opinions, and I'm open to receive all kinds of comments, you know, but bear in mind, be wary that if you do leave a limiting belief or something that doesn't resonate with me and what I'm trying to create, which is basically the new pathways for the earth. I am breaking down all the old paradigms around thinking, around how we connect to our teams, about healing, about all the things. So if it doesn't resonate, or you leave a limited belief which somebody else can pick up, or a story, then I'm going to correct you on that. So that's just like a warning, if you like. Number 2, this is a limited belief I see these quite a lot around money. There's so many. This lady, very, very powerful lady, she's set up an organization, and I can tell just by her energy that she is very, very powerful in what she does. She commands a lot of attention, because I can feel it when I connect with somebody, but yet she's got this massive blocker with regards to receiving. Yeah. And if you've got a blocker with regards to receiving, it's usually because of the energy you're putting out. It's either because you've got an access point in your body due to trauma, or it's the limited beliefs, it's the stuff you keep telling yourself, or a combination of all those 3 things. Hey Sue! So this limited belief that she left on my page said, material goods and power do not interest nor impress me. To have those and not lead by their soul, they are truly poor. Whoa, just think about that for a minute. So she has got this really deep, ingrained belief and blocker that if she receives money, which is just a form of energy, right? It's, okay, they're asking me to explain. So from an energetic point of view, when we as light workers or healers, or however you like to describe us, we're the people that are looking to change the earth. If we're looking to receive energetic exchange from you in the form of money, that's all it is. It's an energetic exchange. You know, money has become almost like this corrupted artificial intelligence program that people are like so, you know, worried about talking about, worried about receiving it. They don't want it. And yes, there is something that's much more powerful to tap into as an energy, which is universal and infinite abundance. But there are some levels that you also need to be open to receive money. So that was her limited belief. I'm going to say it again. So material goods and power do not interest or impress me. To have these and not lead by their soul, they are truly poor. So, oh my God, that makes me kind of shiver all over, but not in a good way, you know, not in a good way. She's got this really, really deep feeling that if she has money, then she is going to be like those people that have probably in her current life, you know, human life, she's probably been kind of like subjected, sorry, they're speaking to me in non-human words, so it's hard to keep up. She's probably been like under some kind of pressure from these people, and she's got this opinion of them that people with money and power are just generally bad people, but actually it's not true. Like, that is a limited belief. And of course, if you are not leaving yourself open to receive all that is meant for you, the universe hasn't got a clue what to do. And the other worst thing as well is if you've got this ingrained belief that material goods and power do not interest you, then the universe is going to find it hard to bring you any of that as well. I mean, oh yeah, would. I absolutely believe we can create universal wisdom, because that's what I do. So when they're asking me to explain now, so when I say I channel information from my team, my spirit team, my awareness of this is that actually I'm tapping into universal wisdom, infinite wisdom, via many different aspects that exist or have ever existed in this reality, on different timelines, on different dimensions, in different forms. So, you know, we're talking about cosmic beings, you know, what you'd probably refer to them as aliens. Humans would refer to them as aliens, but, you know, I don't sit right with the word alien. Not always, anyway. I think it's been bandied around a little bit too much negatively. Hey, Tanya. And so this method of channeling through your body is the method that I use to tap into infinite wisdom. And it's just a case of tapping in and asking, like, what is the answer? And you can get an answer for absolutely everything when you tap in through your own body. So I thought that was really interesting to share with you. I mean, those are just two examples, but oh my goodness, I see people littered with limiting beliefs all the time, and other ones as well. They want me to talk about societal limiting beliefs, right? So for example, two actually they want me to talk about around growth and pain. So one of the ones is you can't grow without pain. So, you know, with regards to expansion or spiritual growth or connecting to your gifts, you know, there's this societal limiting belief that you've tapped into, that you believe on some level, because you've read it, you know, you've been programmed by reading it, you've picked it up on social media, maybe you've heard someone say it. There's a layer of it in your mind which says to you that you cannot grow without pain, which is absolutely really untrue, because I've experienced like massive quantum growth, I would say, cosmically over the last week. And it hasn't been what I would say painful. It's been like a process of self-discovery, because that's the intention that I set. I mean, if you were watching my posts, on one of the like sessions, it wasn't really a session because I work with myself. So I will just clear what's coming up for me. But so one thing that came up for me was generational trauma. So once you've cleared all your trauma in your own life, what you will find is that this is such a kicker, right? I hate to spoil the fun, but this journey is just ongoing. You never get to a stage where you think, oh, it's an end. And a lot of people are sold with this idea of being awakened or enlightened, and then all of a sudden you're in some fairyland and there's no work to do. There is, but it's just on a different scale. But anyways, I digress there. They like sending me off on tangents sometimes. So yeah, growth through expansion. And one of the things that I had to clear was generational trauma. So in order to help my generation and a past generation, I had to go back to my grandmother's birth, and I literally had to birth her out of my own physical body in order to birth this consciousness, which is generational, you know, into the world. as a consciousness, not as an actual physical being. And then that would wipe out a lot of the generational trauma, because the reason why we do this is because trauma is etched onto the DNA of our cells, you know. So yes, you can break generational curses in your lifetime, and yes, you can clear your own trauma. But if you have children, then you're going to have to teach them as well, because otherwise you're not really breaking the cycle. You're just kind of easing the pain in this lifetime. And I use pain lightly because you're just, you know, putting a band-aid over it. When I talk about pain, I'm not talking about like physical pain. I'm just talking about pressing and pause button, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Are you also with me? Anyone got any questions so far? Lemon tea, by the way. Anyone like a lemon tea? Just like hot water with lemon in. It's one of my favourite things right now. Yes. With me. Awesome. Beautiful. How do we clear generational trauma? So that's a really good point, Sue. So how we clear it is up to our unique path that we're on, because remembering, guys, we are all on our own unique path of self-discovery, of clearing trauma, of calling in our divine timeline. And so the steps for you are going to be completely different, Sue, compared to, say, Julia or Tanya or Ward. Yeah. Sorry, when I get confirmation in my body as well, sometimes I get like a little burp coming up. So it's like a physical sign. I get one there. So, oh, hey Tara, I didn't see you watching. So generational trauma is going to be completely different for everyone. And this is why, guys, I don't teach you, I don't give you all the tools. Yeah, I don't give you, oh, this is what you need to do A to Z. What I give you and I teach, and what I do is I teach you how to tap into your own physical body and connect through your spirit to your spirit teams, or God, or the universe, or whoever you align to. And then you ask, what is my next step in this process? And you do just that tiny little step, you know, because I think sometimes it's hard to look at the whole process. I mean, I've been dedicated to, I would say, like the actual physical work and the emotional and energetic work now for almost a decade, you know. And I'm only just discovering now what it means to like quantum leap through some of these things. And that's come through practice. That's come through working with people. That's come through, you know, accessing new levels of information that I didn't have at the beginning. I wish somebody was giving me this information when I was right at the beginning, although I probably wouldn't been able to hear it. So you've got to be open to hear it, and you've got to have an open heart. And we'll talk about the heart in a minute. They want me to talk about the heart before you go. So today I just wanted to give you an idea of what a limiting belief is and why it's creating your reality, because you keep telling yourself that something bad's going to turn up, you know. So I want you to literally, and I was given this project, oh goodness, probably about 15 years ago now, right? Someone said to me, oh my God, you're always so negative about yourself. You're always putting yourself down. Why do you do that? You know, and I was looking and I was thinking, oh my God, they're so right. I do. I'm always putting myself down. No wonder why I feel so bad about myself. Yet I was there, you know, always supportive of other people. Hey, Lena. By the way, I hope I've said hello to everybody. If I haven't, I do apologize. It's sometimes hard to keep up. And so I challenge you to get like a little notebook or something. And then when something negative comes up, you know, or when something, a limiting belief comes up where you're telling yourself, I can't do that, or doing that is going to cause pain, I want you to sit with that one sentence you've written out, sit with yourself and see whether there's any truth in that. And then, because you've made a statement out there, it's got power to it, you have to undo it. So what I used to do was, oh my God, if I gave myself a negative thing, I can't even think about what I used to say to myself because I don't even recognize who I was right back there then. But, you know, say if I just said to myself, and I'm going to energetically protect this statement so it doesn't project onto anybody. So, okay, one sec. If I said to myself, oh God, I am so dumb. Yeah, I would sit with myself and say, where is the truth in that? And then I would write down all the things which would confirm that was a false. You know, I'm not dumb because of this, you know, this and this and this. And it was really hard to do at first because it's quite uncomfortable work because it really makes you aware of yourself. But I would really recommend you do that. Honestly, it's such a beautiful process. Oh, Julia's crying. Release, release, release. Honestly, it's beautiful. Yeah, they're asking me to share actually, Julia. I once had a client in her 60s. I think she was about 67 or something. And she had never been given the permission to release her grief. And I was in session with her one-to-one. And she literally wailed and cried and screamed for about an hour and 20 minutes while I just held space for her. And then I allowed her to release, and she's like a completely different person just because of that release. And make sure that you release it. Tara, I have tried to challenge my money beliefs and will affirm the universe always provides, but I always end up in more debt. Well, the thing is, Tara, you probably aren't dealing with the situation that you are in right now. That's probably your situation. You're probably just not dealing with everything that you need to deal with right now. A lot of humans just put their head in the sand. Yeah. And also the energy, the universe will just call you out on your own bullshit, right? If you go, oh, all I want is more, and then your energy sits in this debt place and you're feeling bad about it and you're telling people about how bad you feel about it, and you're looking at your bank statement and you're like, oh, that hurts. Or, you know, all of that stuff. And the universe is just going to say, you're a fucking liar. Why are you lying? And it won't care what you do to manifest or your words. It will just go with your energy. So it will bring you more of what you fear about. And this is the point, guys. The universe doesn't care about what you try to manifest. It will just use you manifest what you're fearing about. You know, thoughts as well as words are very powerful. Leah, hey Leah, Ward. Sorry, I understand all, but I cannot come out of my words. Awesome. Okay, listen, you're obviously not ready to hear this, and that's absolutely fine. Yeah, you're absolutely fine to be stuck where you are, but just know that you will just end up being very, very, very stuck where you are until you do the work. Yeah, it's kind of like going to the gym, right, and expecting to lose weight, but then just sitting in there watching people rather than actually doing the action. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like, okay, that's fine. You're in, you know, it's difficult, you know, but you don't want to change because you're not doing the stuff. Like, you know, you either do it and do the work, or you don't and you stay stuck. Like, those are your decisions. You're never late, Leah. You are always perfectly on time for everything. Remember that. So Sue's put out her desire for a partner on a full moon night, and now I'm a little skeptical. I'm like, what if he doesn't turn up? This is a limiting belief, right? Yeah, absolutely. And also, they want to say that you'll only manifest somebody based on who you are. So a little point on this, if I may, Sue, I know you're always open to my suggestions, is when I was manifesting love, right, I would write a big long list of all the attributes that I wanted in my partner. So I'm not really about the physical. Like, to look at people, obviously I can appreciate someone's beauty physically as a human, and I can say, oh wow, they're beautiful to look at. But if someone doesn't have substance behind all that, you know, are they kind? Are they able to give and receive unconditionally, not just money, but in everything, in energy, in time, in compliments? You know, all of these things. Is it important that they are family? You know, that they're into family? Do they want a family? All of these things. What does that person look like? Okay. And then you need to make sure that you are all of those things and more. So listen, if you want all of those things and more, then make that your project. Don't make it your project to just bring people into your reality when you're not the person you are, because you will just attract people that mirror your energy and you'll be very, very confused. And I'm not saying you're not ready, because obviously you need to discern that. But I learnt this through my own story of finding love, and maybe I'll share it with you sometimes. It's quite fascinating. But I think I called it Project Me. So hang on a sec, the cat wants to come in, as always. Yeah, I used to call it Project Me. So I would literally like date myself. I would buy myself things. I would talk lovely to myself. I would put on, you know, nice clothes, and I would take pictures of myself, and I would do all of the things that I would do for a partner, but just for myself, just because I wanted to bring in that frequency of love. I wanted to feel my body and feel what it felt like to be loved for myself, by myself, before I manifested that person that stood in front of me. Does that make sense? Oh, by the way, guys, I should tell you that when I'm channeling information and answers for you, I don't always remember what I've said. So if you have any, if you have any questions about what I said, make sure you kind of remind me, because otherwise I won't remember. So, Ward, I have a limiting belief of going back to school to study. Okay, beautiful. Listen, it's really beautiful that you understand that you've got a limiting belief. Like, that is massive, and you should congratulate yourself on that, because it gives you something to work with, right? So if I had a limiting belief around going back to school, I would sit down and I would ask myself where that comes from, and just allow yourself to explore it. And Ward, you're far more than capable to do that work on your own. And then with the limiting belief, it's about asking yourself, is there any truth in what I'm saying? You know, and then you have to work on shifting your perception from that's a limiting belief to that's absolute bullshit. Changing your perception, your beliefs, going back to an earlier point in your timeline, this life, past lives, or even future lives, and clearing that stuff out energetically. Sometimes with changing how your mind thinks, but also clearing the energy out as well of it. So it's just a bit of a process. But the first stage is realizing that you are the only person holding you back in this life. And that's a real kicker. That's a real kicker in a way. Or it can be one of the most empowering things that you'll ever learn. Because if you are willing to take full responsibility for that one statement alone, right, and know that you are beyond fucking powerful to do all the things yourself, then you have the power to create the reality that you do want. Does that make sense? Sue says, oh yes, of course, I am trying to live up to the list of qualities I would do more. Yeah, make sure that you don't get really overwhelmed with this. So yeah, it should be fun. So if I may, when I was kind of starting dating, right, my friend Jen, who's an absolute beautiful goddess, she's been throughout my whole journey. So going from a place where I was in a very traumatic, kind of narcissistic versus empath relationship, and I was the empath. And then getting out of that, dealing with all that trauma, as well as lots of childhood trauma came up, healing through that, you know, healing through all these limiting beliefs and this mindset work and blah, 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 blah. And she was the person that when I was ready for love, she gave me these projects to work on. And one of the projects she gave me, which was beautiful, was just go out and meet people, go on dates and just have fun and see what happens with no kind of expectation, right? No expectation of having a girlfriend or a boyfriend. No expectation of sleeping together. You know, that's a big worry for us, isn't it? As beings, like, oh God, I'm going to have to get naked with someone. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. No expectation of marrying someone. You know, we're not looking always for that future husband or wife. We're just looking for that person to explore and have fun with. Yeah, so I would I'd invite you to explore that as well, because the other thing as well, Sue, is that the person that shows up in your reality will remind you of the things that you need to work on within yourself as well. And again, if you can integrate that into your being and actually do the work needed to then change your reality next time, yeah, you'll just keep tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it until you've got somebody stand in front of you which you feel that can match you on an energetic level. And they might not look exactly how you expect, because mine doesn't at all. And it was found in a completely random place, the random world of online dating, you know. But we have to be open to it. Yeah, match the feeling you want to have, but also more than that, you know, you have to watch your language. Like what Cassie said, you have to watch your language, how you're talking about yourself. You have to match what information you're putting out to other people. You know, you really have to match everything up and become like a real detective in your own life, because the universe will just call you out on your bullshit. And the way that it calls you out on your bullshit is what's in your reality, what you see, yeah, and what you feel. So whenever someone's saying to me, oh, you know, this isn't right, this isn't what you're saying or whatnot, I'll say, okay, cool. How's your reality working out for you right now? How are you feeling? You waking up feeling energetic, pumped, serving, or do you feel like you're frustrated, that you aren't doing enough? You know, do you feel like you're lacking in some area? So yeah, if you want to know like whether you've got everything you desire, what are you seeing and how are you feeling inside? Those are two massive indicators of how okay, I almost broke the internet then. I had to put an extra layer of security around our call. They always try to interrupt and intersect, so apologies for the little slight interlude. I was here. I have issues with my energy and tech. Which, they're funny, they say, which is probably a limited belief. Yeah, it could be. Thank you for calling me out on my bullshit too. Oh dear. And that's the other thing, you guys. I'm not claiming to be all and know all, like, you know, walking on water guru about all of this stuff. I can always only tell you up to the awareness and the experience that I've encountered myself, you know. So I am more than happy when my team call me out on my own bullshit. I'm just like, yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll fix that. And actually, for me, it's really helpful. Like, the only capacity I work with people on now, as in like a coach to me, for example, are people who I can check in with, and I can say, ooh, I just need a little tweak around this. Can you look into it and just give me a second opinion, type of thing, like that. It's like a side mirror. And that is what I like to set up with the people that I work with. I like just to be a side mirror. Like, I'm not here to fix people, to help people, to really even be an agony aunt, to listen to all your stories and your limiting belief. I'm here to empower you, for you to step into your own power, because I don't want to create relationships of codependency. You know, I've got 2 kids. And I've got a partner who can sometimes be a little bit like a child, and she would admit that. Again, they're really testing today. So, I hope you got the messages today that were meant for you. And remember, these messages have to resonate with your body. Yeah, it's what I teach. It's what I teach. So, a better way to approach navigating yourself through your reality is to make all and any decisions through your own physical body. And the reason why we do that is because that physical body cannot be intersected by the beings or humans that surround you unless you give permission or unless you leave yourself open. Okay, so one of the courses that we're launching this year, and we've run it before, it's called Channeling 101. So it's literally that. It's teaching you how to use your own body in order to navigate yourself around your reality, in how to heal yourself using using your own tools, which probably seems like a bit of a jump to some of you, especially if you're in a certain place. So if it doesn't resonate, don't worry, you know, it's not for you. God, yes, I must know more about that then. Let me know if you want to just comment 101 in the comments, and then when we are ready to share that kind of beautiful container that we're setting up to take you on a journey with us on this experience, then we will invite you to a live stream where I can share all the things with you. Yeah, and I want you to know as well that I literally never work with anybody unless I'm 100% aligned to them, and I never share anything in a private container unless I'm 100% aligned. So if it's not in alignment and in resonance, that's absolutely beautiful. That's the way it is. And if it is, then beautiful. Type in 101, and then when it's ready, we will chat. We're just waiting for the instruction now on when we can kind of publicly share that information. Yeah, Leah said, I'm learning to heal and use my own human body. It's amazing. Yeah, it's next level stuff. It's mastery. And they're asking me to explain why. So there is going to become a point in time in the future where the mind is going to be completely, what's the word, team? They send me messages and images. It's going to be completely redundant. Thank you, team. Yeah, and we see it now, don't we? You know, our mindsets are littered with limiting beliefs and other people giving us their stories, and so the mind is going to become really, really redundant. And what's going to come into play is using the heart space. So that's why a lot of people right now are going through heartbreak and breakups. You know, they're being called to learn how to heal their own body, especially their heart, so that they can use this process that I'm here to teach and to guide in this lifetime, in order to navigate themselves through their own reality. So part of one of my missions, because I have many here, is to activate 7 million starseeds. So no pressure. And the way that we will do that is by creating like a a filter, a network where we teach the tools, and then people will just be passing them on. So generationally passing them on as well, you know. So it's all very beautiful and in alignment. And I cannot wait to share this with you because, yeah, we need it here. So like I said, if you're watching this and you want to be invited to that private webinar about the course, then just type in 101. And when it's ready, when we've got direction to do that, we will invite you to that webinar to tell you all about the things to make sure that it aligns with you. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and sending you love, light and miracles. Bye.